it is a big deal.
102,
Getting bigger
alright?
and bigger.
When they brought,
Alright.
when they mentioned it, and I was there, sitting there, you know, they thought, well, you know, we're gonna buy a whole bunch and, you know, if we don't sell it all, we'll have, 2 weeks later, we're gonna have the, you know, one on the rec.
Field day.
Field day.
Here, yeah.
Or fair.
And I said, I don't think so, boys. This is beginning, I mean, every single day, it seems like someone calls and wants to join in, so it's getting bigger and bigger.
Good.
Okay, we call the meeting to order?
Catch your breath.
Okay. Let's have the minutes, Sue, first.
Okay.
Okay.
On January 11th, the Memorial Day Parade Committee started promptly at 11 a.m. Chairperson Claudia Provincial, William Shea, John Nason, Tom Collier, Joe Gonzalez, thank you. Secretary Susan Breggy attended, Jamie Pitney was absent, and Richard Breggy also joined our meeting. The minutes for the last meeting were read, a motion was made by Tom Collier and seconded by Joe, and it had to accept. The following items were discussed. A wreath is being donated by Flo Perrier.
Hi.
Joe will get
This the parade thing?
the poppies,
Come in.
the trumpet player is all set, BS is taking care of the echo.
That's fine.
Do you
That
guys
doesn't
mind?
stand for bullshit, that's
I know,
bullshit.
I was gonna say, do you mind if we just do the initials, 'cause, okay. Speakers will only have 5 minutes to speak and will be in this order. Donnie Berthium will speak about Memorial Day, Ryan McLean, the birth of the Vietnam Memorial Committee, Steve Brewer, and Bill Shea, the Vietnam Committee. The band has been hired. ROTC Monty Tech, Bill is cautiously optimistic, invite them to the ice cream social. Claudia will reach out to Joyce Green to see if she needs a sound system. Golden Ages, COA Friends will be hosting an ice cream social after the services, Claudia to confirm. Scotty Potties, Claudia will reserve. Bill to handle the color guard, Mass National Guard. Joe to handle the chaplain. John Nason suggests we invite the principal of the senior center of the center school, not the senior center, to our next meeting.
Non-denominational.
Sue to call Jamie for an email address clarification. Bill to write an article for the newspapers. John developing programs, you should be available 1 week prior to the event. Bill to reach out to Katie Young and JP to confirm the Boy Scouts will be putting flags and geraniums on the veterans' graves throughout town. Claudia presented proposed t-shirt design, the back was approved as presented, the front will change to American flag and proudly served. Adjustments were made to the quantities and sizes. Tom Collier to confirm the church, flyers for the school needs to be developed. Sue to ask town clerk for a list of veterans to invite to march. Ask singers to sing the bridge songs as poppies are attached to the wreath. Lining up at the rec field will be Rich Breggy and Joe Gadnals. Yes. And Bill and Claudia will do the common. The lineup was reviewed, Claudia will be reaching out to the horse club, Bill will handle the car club, Tom Collier will reach out to the Lions Club, Tom will reach out to Rich Green for tractors and trucks, and the fire department. The Mass National Guard Bravo Company will be marching at the parade. Bill to confirm, Claudia offered hot dogs, soda, and chips. The flags need to come to half staff at 8 a.m. At noon, it will go back up. Who will do this? The Boy Scouts? Remember, the flag has to come all the way down first before it goes back up at noon. Music at noon, question mark. Invite the police to the next meeting. Why do we need permission for the common? Rec field, Sandaberry, additional parking at Go Green Pallet Company has been okayed. Organize at the beginning, organize on the common, where to go, what is role, parking, floats, pull into lots. Claudia will be ordering hats, may meet in March via Zoom, and the meeting was adjourned at 1 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Stuart.
Do you have any corrections or omissions to this report?
Yes, I have one. I was not able to get that chaplain. I think I notified you on that, and I don't know if you passed the word to someone.
I got it in our little agenda thing here, I
Okay.
got, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I got that.
Okay,
We
make
have
a motion to accept the minutes as written and read.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good.
Okay, we have guests here today. We have Police Chief Dennis Perrin, Town Clerk Laurie Reed, and Fire Chief Bob Hayes, and we have Katie Young. Sorry, Katie, I don't have your name on here.
Yeah, that's okay, I just show up.
I did call Sandra Berry. She said she was gonna try to make it, but she wasn't. I think we'll maybe try to get her at the next meeting so we can both confirm what we wanna do. And I did try to contact the principal, so she's not here. So, I don't know how we wanna proceed with this. We can use advice. Do we wanna see if they have any questions first, or would you like to stay and see what we've been doing so we can go over this and you can hear what we've got going on?
Right off the bat, I got a concern about the flag. The flag for the commons right there, it's been there about a month.
I got the
Month and a
answer
half.
to that
We have the
question.
answers.
I got
Perfect.
the answer to that.
Okay. Wanna comment on that now?
Yeah, Sandra Berry had spoken to me, and I think she's brought it up to you too, about the flag,
And I.
was always being ripped or torn or too high, and they needed to get another one, so she was glad that I mentioned something to her, cause she didn't think about it, you know? So they got someone, she's hired someone or called someone that's gonna come and take care of that.
This week.
So
Well,
that
one of
should
the
be-
problems.
They didn't know if
having-
it was too high.
Well,
or-
having done the up and down, as many times as we've had to do, when it's at half staff, there's trees that catch it. And then once the tree catches it, that's where we get rips. And also, that's where it gets torn off the pulley, which we picked it up off the common, like I said, about a month ago. And I'm not sure if the rope is intact, the pulley is intact, I'm not sure the condition of it.
She's getting a new flag, I think.
The flag is one thing, I'm not sure
But you know, do you think we could have
about
the highway cut that
Well,
couple of the
Sandra was gonna talk
branches?
to somebody about cutting it down.
Yeah.
Because it keeps being an issue. That
Not
she's
cut the
gonna-
pole down,
The-
cut the branches off?
No, the pole,
Do the pole, now that's another question, does the
because we
pole
don't have
have to
equipment
be
high enough.
a certain height? How high, is there a
As high as you want.
standard? No,
No,
okay,
no standard.
no standard, okay, so then that would be
Mhm.
fine.
I mean, and you guys know this, cause I had to deal with it separately too. It's pretty damn hard for one person to go do that, because
That's a big flag.
you can, that big flag is heavy going up and down. Besides that, there's no way you can stand right under the pole, on the pole, and watch that thing come down, have any idea whether it's halfway down, 3/4 of the way down on your
And it
head.
pulls away from, the pole, so
Right.
sometimes you think you got a tight, and it's like this far off the pole,
Right.
and then it gets caught in the tree, and, you know, it's somewhat difficult to
It
deal with.
is, that tree has always been in the way.
But we've had it trimmed before,
Yeah.
but
How
as trees
needs to-
do, they
yeah,
grow.
needs to be did again.
That's why Sandra discussed cutting the pole for future issue. That way we might have something tall enough to restring it if we had to.
And it is very high.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't have to be that high
Right.
with that size flag.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that'll get resolved, cause they talked about the pulley, they talked about cutting it down to size, they talked about the rope and all that, because it will become an integral part of our ceremony, so we have to have it functioning on that day.
Yes. So should we go through what we have planned so you guys can hear what we're doing, and then maybe you can offer any suggestions as we go through different things? So my way of doing things is, I know we have it here, but we went through everything so we could see what we have done, what we need to tweak, what we need to work on. So, of course, it might seem like repetition, but I need to know exactly what's going on, when it's gonna happen, and we need to confirm all the time. I
Practice
think.
makes perfect.
Yeah, so if we go by my little agenda thing here, wherever I took something, I'll jump in. Wherever Bill has, you can jump in on your thing here, and John, whoever jumps in wherever. So this first one was Flo, and she's gonna do the poppies. We decided on the 4 poppies for each monument, and we decided that we were gonna have Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts. We were gonna pick 2. to turn them up? Are we gonna do like Joe said, have them face down and then come up? I think that's what we were gonna do, so we can talk to Katie or about the Girl Scouts or who they wanna put in charge of that.
And I'm
But
here
they're-
for Boy Scouts too.
Could
Your
I,
Boy Scouts too?
Yep.
Okay, good.
could I pass this around? I've got one.
Oh, yeah,
I put a legend under here of what we're actually showing here. That's the Vietnam Memorial in Washington DC. I didn't want people to look at that and think that's what the memorial's gonna look like.
That's the statute, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pass this around.
let me just tell them to
You
take.
see a lot of X's here, cause we don't have names yet for them. So just go your way down.
They go down. You wanna pass one out to everyone, or whatever you got left?
No, I didn't put the legend underneath, but you can go ahead and do whatever you need.
Alright, so the wreath is no charge, the flowers are ordered, they're gonna be $8.50 a piece, they'll be $170. Everything's right here, and then we have the poppies going on the wreath, we gotta figure out how we're gonna do that.
Is that coming out of the $1,500 that you guys said?
Yes,
Okay.
that should come out of the $1,500.
Yeah, okay.
So the flowers are all set, Flo, I confirmed with her, she's all set with that. Spoke to Ann Fournier from the American Legion, she said the poppies should be coming in this week. So we'll be looking at that, she told me 200, but now she said 100, but that's okay, we'll take 100, that's fine. And I did reach out to them to march in the parade. I called the president, who she lives in Templeton, I think, and she said she was already committed, but she was gonna put the word out to see if she could find some to walk in the parade. So she'll
On
let
the
me know.
American Legion in Gardner?
American Legion National.
So who did you
American
reach
Legion
out
of
to?
Boston. I reached out to Cynthia Kelly,
Okay,
she's the state president for the American Legion.
okay.
Okay. And then you have the national secretary, I got her too, Coral Roach. So they're gonna let me know, they're gonna put the word out, see if we can get the American Legion in there also.
And I also, in direct relation to that, I sent a message via Facebook to the American Legion post in Gardner. I sent this exact flyer, the PSA, out to
Oh,
them.
okay. Mhm.
So that has the who, what, when, where,
Oh,
why, and
good.
how. And I think we should at some point follow up and stop by there and drop off some flyers and let them know again, so we have the local contingent.
Where is that where is that one
Is that on
located?
Elm Street, the American Legion, Joe?
I believe so.
They're up
Yeah.
by the hospital there on the
Yeah,
hill.
other-
Yeah, I know where it is. Yeah, I also did the same for the Montechusett Vietnam veterans. I sent them, I faxed that to them.
And that's in Gardner too, right?
Yeah, last night.
Yep,
And either I or I might ask Joe to stop by there with some flyers and invite them in terms of as an organization, as individuals, as veterans, and of course, all the details for the veterans to get in touch with you and to come here first and so on and so forth.
is this the flyer you wanna drop
Yes,
off
ma'am,
at both
that's
places?
the one I did, yeah.
Okay, so we want that, we wanna make copies and drop those off at both places.
Yes, yeah, and either I or I might ask Joe to do that.
I don't wanna do it.
Okay, thank you.
We got a copier, so we can use ours.
Yeah.
The only problem we're gonna run into is that it's Memorial Day.
Yep.
People they already got their own commitments, that's the bad part about it.
And, but we're giving them 6 weeks' notice, and
Yep.
we're giving them options, which is,
Yep.
is good. And
Okay, so the next thing would be our trumpet players. We only have, Ed Blanchard's grandson would like to
Correct.
play. We don't have the other trumpet, the other guy. We don't know if we're gonna, you wanna take that, Bill? You don't know
Sure.
if you're gonna,
Well, currently, we've hired a band, and the band is there, and they certainly are willing to play taps, because we're paying them $1,500, they're involved in the parade and the ceremony. So we'll have a place on the common for them. And I specifically asked if they could, that's an option. I've reached out to Quabbin, as we know now, Hardwick is not having a parade this year. So we now have, Tom and I have talked to the Navy Junior ROTC coordinator, that's Captain Dan, and so the Junior ROTC is gonna be here. He also said he would reach out to the band director at Quabbin. I haven't heard back from them, so today I called Quabbin and I spoke and got the names of the 2 people involved in the band and invited them. And at that point, if, the Quabbin band is going to participate in our parade, we'll have two bands, which is great. We'll coordinate that. And at that point, I think we've talked about, wouldn't it be nice if somebody from the Quabbin band plays the initial taps, and the response, or the echo taps, will be played by Ed Blanchard's grandson, who would be in the cemetery. So that's still a little bit up in the air. I'm hoping that I'll hear back from Quabbin momentarily, and that they are willing to send their band, and at that point, I'll ask them if they wanna designate somebody to play taps more appropriate and more homey than having, a band from out of town, they're from Rutland, play it. So how does that sound?
That sounds good. The only thing that concerns Citizen was thinking that we can maybe somehow get these two trumpet players together to practice. They are thinking they need to have a little practice. That was just thrown out at me. I'm just throwing it to you. Maybe we could get Ed Blanchard's grandson and the one who's gonna play, maybe they could practice one time.
Ed's coming back on the 28th of April from Florida,
So we'll
and
be
at
able
that point, I'm sure he's gonna become more involved vicariously or otherwise.
Okay,
And,
good.
so that gives us a month
Little
to,
time, yeah.
possibly come up with that scenario.
I have something else about taps. I got a, from one of the people in the senior center over here. And it contains the 5, taps, when they play taps, it's just the song for the first verse. There are 5 verses. And they asked me if it would be possible at all, that we could have, someone sing this, and then when it's complete, then do taps.
What is the song, Tom?
Okay, well,
Sing it for us, Tom.
Day is
I'm not gonna, no, you do not want me to do that. Let's see, here it is. Day is done, gone the sun, from the hills, from the lake, from the skies, all is well, safely rest, God is nigh. Go to sleep, peaceful sleep, may the soldier or sailor our God keep, on the land of the deep, safe in the sleep, God, love good night, must go to thou. When the day and the night need thee so, all is well, speedeth to all, to their rest. Fades the light, and far goeth the day, and the stars shineth bright. Fare thee well, day is gone, night is on, thanks and praise for our days, neath the sun, neath the stars, neath the sky, as we go, this we know, God is nigh. Now,
How do we?
having said that, I found today, literally today, a guy, one of my friends sent me an email of one that came from, oh God, probably somewhere back, World War I would think, and it only has 3 verses, and only the first one is like this one. So and now the problem I see here is that we're trying to, our goal, I think, is to be done at noon.
I mean, the parade done at noon.
The parade's done at noon,
Right.
and then we're out of there at probably 1 o'clock, I would
I
guess.
think that's the longest you can conceivably hope to keep people's attention.
Right.
So this is
And I
a
just
time
think this
factor.
may stretch things a little bit.
I agree.
Plus, in this thing, we're gonna have our program, and the whole bit about the flag going up and down is a noon thing. I mean, we're supposed to go out in the morning early and drop it to half staff, and then at noon it has to go back up. And all the times I was in it, we had to really jockey things around to make sure that we could stop somebody wasn't in the middle of their speech or whatever at noon. I think this may be a little bit much, but I throw it out on the table and see what we can.
What does the board think?
I think it's too much. I think we start breaking down the time elements. We have 4 speakers. We are gonna request that they limit their time to 5 minutes. But you have one politician, one former politician, and that's almost half the time there. You folks know that typically, the ceremonies run about 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking we're adding too many additional elements to make it feasible to do all that.
And I would agree, and my opinion is, we'll put this in this folder, and maybe when we're don't have all of this stuff going on, that we could think about it again.
Sounds good.
Other members?
We could put a little thing in the program with that narrative and build and explain that this is what the narrative to TAPS is,
Yeah.
and that would,
John, would
People
you
can-
have any
Little
place to put
insert?
that in the program?
I'll just put a slip in if I have to.
Yeah.
Insert,
Mhm.
yeah.
We've got a lot more things now because you have so many people.
What's the name of that song?
We've got to acknowledge the National Guard, we have to, there's a lot going on here. And I think we can put some of it in the program. Even if I have one double-sided, addition to that program. In other words, it'd be, let people read it at their leisure.
Yeah, cause we have 3 other talks of Flanders Field, Gettysburg Address,
Right.
preamble of the Constitution, and something else maybe by the students. And then we have Memorial Day speaker, and we know that there are 4 speakers. Then we have the songs and the firing squad, and it's an awful lot.
Did you,
Okay, so we're
did
gonna
you
vote
make
no.
sure all those speakers know it's only 5 minutes?
They will know.
So listen, so we're gonna go to that
They have, Tom
next.
Brewer's been told, Senator Brewer's been told.
We're going to that next. Okay, so we're all set with the trumpet? Get ahead. I get it. Okay, so the speakers, I did reach out to Donnie Berthium, I told him his speech needs to be on why do we celebrate Memorial Day? That's
Tell
what
them
we,
5 minutes?
5 minutes, I told him 5 minutes, and then Ryan was gonna talk about the birth of the Vietnam Memorial Committee.
And I
Right.
can chat with him and kinda go over some things that he
And
could
you're
cover.
gonna do the dedication for the Vietnam Monument.
No, I'm actually, I think
What are you gonna
that
do?
what I would be doing is rounding it off by talking about what else we did to the common in terms of refurbishing, refreshing,
Oh.
repairing, and restoring
So
the other
what-
monuments. So that's,
Restoration,
Yeah.
what do you wanna call it for him to put in his,
I would say, other improvements made to the war memorials on the common, although it also includes the
Refurbishing
Korean
of
War
the
cross
See
street.
what you want on.
how about the
on a
refurbishing
slip
of the,
paper.
Civil War monument, that's,
all the other monuments, right?
well,
Did you
yes,
refurbish
that's what it'd
them?
be, yeah.
Town common monuments.
Refurbishing of the town common monuments?
Mhm.
That's good.
Hi.
Hi, Rich, come on in. I have one.
As an antidote to that
Here you go,
repair,
Rich.
I was over at having them cut some pipes
Here you
for me
go.
the other day. The first thing is when I walked in, they said,
Is the pyramid,
your balls are here.
yeah, my balls are there.
So Steve
Cannonballs.
Brewer, what is Steve Brewer gonna talk on?
He's also gonna talk about, how the monument relates to veterans in general. He had a relative that was killed during Vietnam, and we did tell him when he was on the common that day that it would be, just 5 minutes. But he would be talking about veteran perspective and how important having a memorial like this is.
Relationship of the monument to the veterans?
Yeah, that's
Is
fine.
that good?
Mhm.
Okay. Alright, so now we've got those all set, that can go in your program. The band, Bill, do you have any reports on the band?
Yep, the band is absolutely confirmed, committed, and I will reach out to them, of course, one more time beforehand. I'll tell them again about organizing at the rec field at 10 o'clock, And then that they will have a position on the common where they'll be located. And if in fact we want them to play anything else, including the taps, they'll be notified about that.
Okay, good. And the ROTC from Monty Tech bill,
Absolutely confirmed.
so that.
So we have Marine ROTC from Monty Tech, it's gonna be there, and we have Navy Junior ROTC from Quabbin, committed. Tom made arrangements for a bus to pick them up. 9:30 is when they're gonna be picked up. And we're hoping that, the band will also be included, cause we have plenty of room on the bus, so, so both of them are included. And when it comes time to doing our logistics, we'll figure out where we want them to be, et cetera, but that's jumping in.
Let's just point out that the bus that's gonna pick up, there's another bus that's picking some veterans
Well, the
up.
veterans from Worcester.
Yeah, got that,
And,
30 to 40
and they-
veterans will be here on the,
you know, it's not costing us anything, they donate that every year.
Kathy.
Same, bus department?
Yeah,
Kathy.
Okay,
Yep,
super.
Yep, he did
Couldn't
that.
ask for more than that.
okay, so Joyce Green confirmed that she will be there and she will do the sound system for $75, so that's confirmed.
Okay, and, do we know, and Brittany, this is where I need your help, do we know that, the sound system they have will be able to have a enabler so that WGAW can plug into that?
I left them a message this morning,
Joyce?
yeah, they hadn't gotten back to me, and I told them I was gonna be here at 1, but I think they're out burning wood today or stuff. Are they out burning? They're
I didn't take that phone call, so possibly.
Brittany, it's kind of a WRX, a mixer or something, that, I don't know the,
It depends on what equipment they have, and then you want the radio station to take the audio?
yeah, the,
Yeah. Did
radio.
Did
right.
they say what they need?
Yeah, he told me exactly what he needed, and it was, a 3-letter acronym, which I,
XLR?
yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's a standard audio cable.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah, and he would hook up to that so that he could be up on the common, and he could record all of the ceremonies, and we'll have a color commentator there. Laurie Reed has volunteered to do that, and then he'll broadcast that on WGAW for people who can't be there. Also, he puts it out on the internet, so, and in addition to that, WGAW has offered to set up on the parade route. He said the closer to the common, the better. And as the floats and contingents are coming down, we will be announcing them and adding a little bit of additional information to that. And he's gonna broadcast that. And Laurie will be doing that. We thought she was a perfect candidate. She's thinking about starting a new career, she said, so.
I'll sign autographs. You guys are free, everybody else
Yeah.
is.
So that,
Never at a loss for words.
that PA system the PA system will most likely have an XLR out. I would imagine it would, but if for whatever reason they don't have an out, Cable Access has a sound system. We use it at town meeting, so.
And
That-
that would become available, Brittany?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, wonderful,
absolutely,
yeah.
yeah. That
Oh,
would
good.
more than be enough for what you need.
And he asked about an amplifier, and, but that would broadcast, let's presume that the common is gonna be chock-a-block full of people.
Yes, it
and they're gonna
gets insanely loud.
Wonderful,
It'll be
okay.
more than enough.
Yeah, and that's all he needs. He said if I can plug into that mixer, he said alternatively, he was gonna put a microphone next to one of the speakers or something, but,
Yeah,
Okay.
so if theirs doesn't have an output, it most likely will, but in the case that it doesn't, we have one.
good. And Tom, we can verify that
Okay.
tomorrow.
As soon as they get back at me,
Good.
I can drive, they're right behind me, so I can pick them up.
Stop down and help
Yeah.
burn some brush, yeah.
Okay, so the ice cream social is already all set, we don't need to worry about that, that's all set. Scotty's Parties, I called them, and they're gonna deliver the party on May 27th, but somebody has to be here to show them where to put it, we need to go up and take a look and see where we wanna put that party.
Where has it been in the
Where's
past?
Where's it going?
Well, we only got it that one year, and we put it up on the common because there were seniors that they couldn't make it to here. So they needed to go to the bathroom, you know how that is, so we put it up on the common. That's where we put it.
Alright.
So, I mean, We can bring it here, but I think it's better up there. The ground is bumpy and stuff, it's closer, it's better for.
And there'd be access to also the senior center as well.
Yeah,
as the one
cause the
on the
senior
common.
center, we have one here, yeah. So, and this church doesn't allow you to use theirs, so, I don't know, the septic or whatever, I don't know what their problem is, but they said no. So that's all set, just I gotta make sure someone's here on the 27th, and they want $165 for the party. Now, I said they don't work on the weekend, so they're not gonna pick it, they're gonna drop it off on Friday. So I said, is that the price you get for one day? I mean, don't charge me for all these days, and they're not gonna pick it up until Tuesday. So it's gonna be there from Friday to Tuesday. So he told me that would be the price for one day, so. The company sold, so this is a new company that took it over. So we're all set with that one. The firing squad, Bill, we didn't know who was gonna do the gun shoot thing.
Who has in the past?
Well, when we did it, we had the militia, remember, cause we didn't have anybody, so the militia did it for us. And it worked out okay, but I don't know if any of these other people that you have coming, if they have the guns and can do it, I don't know.
think they're, that wasn't part of their
No.
itinerary, so I think that
We
the
have a
militia,
militia, let's use them,
yeah, why not?
So we need to reach out to the militia.
scary as it looks,
Pardon?
scary as it looks.
Yeah,
It takes them a little longer, cause they have to pull
Yeah.
the thing and,
flintlocks,
I don't
but
know.
they're part of the town, so I think.
They are.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to Skip Scott, he's I don't know who's in charge, or Bella.
Bella
Is she
is-
still
Bella.
on there?
Yeah,
She might shoot us all, I don't know.
years ago, about 2 or 3 weeks before Memorial Day,
I told you.
Bella, his only transportation was and it was, I think it was just a lawnmower. Would come up the driveway and write a check for whatever you need for, he did it every year.
So we write he writes a check to us?
He did, well,
Do we have to pay this militia to do that? No.
no, but he did that himself.
Oh,
Because back then we had, precious little money and it was costing us $1,000 every year we had to pay for I'd say 4 out of 5 years we had to pay $1,000 for to have a band here. So he did. As crazy as he looks, he's got a good heart.
he does. Okay, so I'm gonna reach out to I will reach out to them. And Bill, what about the newspaper? You're all set with an article prepared,
Well,
or
I
do you
don't wanna
need help
do
with
it
that?
quite yet,
Right,
because it
right.
doesn't make it germane, so
Okay.
I'll wait till the first part of May, and then, I'll put something together, run it by you folks to make sure that it touches the bases, and then I'll blast it out to Barry, Gardner, Worcester, Athol. I can copy them all,
Yeah.
and you never know what you're gonna get. I mean, generally, Steve Landry from Gardner News has been really good, and he actually asked me a couple of weeks ago what's going on with the monument, et cetera, and I told him I'd give him an update, so he'd be the one I'd contact, and then I'll contact. Do you think anybody?
Danielle
Who else?
Arcadian, works for the Worcester Telegram and Gazette.
I don't have that contact, so
She lives on High Street, Dan.
Oh, I can give you that information.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
She works for the Telegram and Gazette, I mean, I can call her
What's it,
too.
Danielle Arcadian?
Eric Killian.
Killian or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
Okay.
ARA.
You
Okay, yeah,
email
but I
me
should
that?
have it, yeah.
Okay. 'Cause then
So-
She was on
I'd
the
like to
CP
have somebody.
She was on the CPC, so.
So maybe she could help with that, but they also sent out a representative from the Worcester Telegram and Gazette for us one time to come out and take pictures and put it in the Worcester TNG, so I was thinking maybe she would come out again, I don't know if it's the same girl or not, but maybe Danielle could put us in contact with the right person.
Okay.
That's what I
I
was.
contacted Channel 4, WBZ, back in November, talked to Lisa Hughes, who is a real advocate for veterans. I reached out to her last week and immediately responded. She said, I think it's a wonderful idea. I gave her all the details, and she said she was gonna pass it along to the right people and to get back in touch with her 1 week before. So I'll reach out to her again and see if we can, I think it was Joanne Filio
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name, but I had spoken with her. She said she knew Lisa, so I immediately reached out to Lisa. She did too. So the more the better, and wouldn't it be great? And my research has indicated that less than 1/3 of the communities in Massachusetts have a memorial for our Vietnam vets. So doesn't happen every day, and so this is one that I think we have our attention, and it just depends on what's going on in the news and a last minute type thing, so, but I'll follow up on that too.
there's that program on TV, I think it's on like around 5 or 6 o'clock. They
Chronicle?
do-
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not Channel 4, I think it's Channel 5, but that's a great, yeah, it's a great program, 7:30 every
I wonder
night.
if they would ever come out.
Yeah.
Chronicle, do you think they would?
Sure.
Why not say? They
You
can
know,
always say
there
no.
are a lot of
They always say
hurting
no, why
Vietnam
not get
veterans
this-
in this country, and I
this-
think,
Yep.
you might be surprised who shows up. You might find a lot
I'll
of
reach out to
people.
Chronicle.
Okay, Channel 5. And that's Bill. You have a good way of working with people, Bill.
I knew Mary Richardson, who was a very, very integral part of Chronicle for many, many years. I knew her personally, and she just passed away. But it's a great program, and
Yes.
they cover a lot of local stuff. And if we play the theme that there are so many communities that don't have it, and what we've gone through to get ours, there's a possibility. It may not show up immediately, but it could show up later, and maybe on Veterans Day.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't hurt, they can just say no, right? And Joe, you got this, and see, I wrote that in there, no pastor, cause you let me know, so that's a no-go, so we're not gonna even worry about that. The flags, the poles, the hats, everything is here, and I put down what they cost, and Joe, you gave me $150 towards the hats.
Did I?
Yeah, gave me a check, I cashed it,
No,
got
you
it.
didn't. Will you please give it to us now? Yeah.
So Joe paid for the hats, I paid for the other part of the hats, cause they came a little bit more. And, I got the flag poles, and I bought flags for each brick. Do you love it? I saw that at the flea, now this is the flea market, you wouldn't believe the receipts I get, they're pretty silly. But I saw that, I said to the guy, I want that. He gave it to me, he didn't charge me a dime
Beautiful.
for that. And he
Yeah,
gave
no,
me
it
2
is.
other flags he didn't charge me a dime for. But, I thought that was, I don't know where you wanna put it, I don't know what we're gonna do with them, but I just bought them.
Does it have grommets? Does it hum?
Yeah, it's
I got,
they're
I
on the
bought,
side.
Okay.
I bought 11 of these. That's all I could find, the guy had, he gave me $1 off on that.
Quite the negotiator.
Yeah, I told them all about what we were doing there. Florida is a very patriotic state. They love the veterans, and they're very, very,
They got a lot of,
and the hats, I got them down, at the wholesale place down there.
Less than $2 a
The
piece,
back.
you told us, right?
$18 a dozen for the hats. And I did something different this year, they're all different colors, so I just put a couple out here to show you, they're nice. But this is just the Vietnam.
Are there some that are generic, just to veterans in general?
No,
Well, this one here for
this is Vietnam veteran, these are,
Vietnam, that's
I got
generic.
Vietnam, they're all colors, so, and then I got 2 Marines, cause they're all, like, a lot, but they're all different colors, they have this
Okay,
emblem.
that's Vietnam also, okay. No, that's
No,
not,
that's
that's generic,
Korean.
that's good.
That's all right.
Oh, that's good.
I mean Air Force,
Yeah, cause that one over there says a Navy veteran on it.
and this is a Navy. I got Navy, I got Air Force, I got Coast Guard somewhere here. Coast Guard,
Better, cause we got,
I only got a dozen
5 or
Coast
6
Guards,
Coast
cause there's
Guard,
not many
yeah,
Coast
yeah.
Guard people.
we have 5 or 6 Vietnam era veterans who are Coast Guard.
But you do I got the Coast Guard,
Oh,
or they
the
can have
Vietnam.
the regular
Yeah, that's perfect.
Vietnam ones. I didn't know what they wanted, but I got 2 of the Marines, two of everything.
Claudia, tell us how you've got that set up so that veterans know what to do and how to get them.
So I think the best thing to do is, I got, and so before you guys leave, I want you to, let me find it. I have a sign-up sheet for all the hats and the shirts, and the people will sign up as to, when you take a hat, I want you to sign your name and, like, Tom, you gonna take a hat?
No, I got 6, 7 of them.
Okay, well, whoever takes a hat, your name, your branch, and your size, because they'll be here, and I'll have them all written out and ready for you. But they can come here at the senior center and pick them up. I don't
And
care
they
if
come that day and do that, right?
they can come that day, be better if they came before,
Yeah.
so that we don't have, cause somebody's gonna be inside here to pass them out. So I'm hoping they're gonna be all passed out before that. We have 150 t-shirts, only 132 hats. I don't know how come I didn't get 150. I don't know how that came out. I got 11 dozen hats.
I put on the invitation as supply lasts, so
As
first
they
come,
last,
first served.
yep. So, but I am taking the names and stuff like that, and we get 40 veterans coming from Worcester. 30 to 40 people coming from Worcester, and they're gonna give me a list of the size of their hats and whatever they're gonna do. But I
Getting
think
back
what
to
we're
the
gonna do
flag,
is,
getting back to the flag, that's a beautiful flag. Ideally, the monument will be in place, it will be covered. And, we're trying a couple of different ways to cover it. But maybe we could Velcro that flag
To the front of the monument.
to the front of the cover.
Yeah.
And have it there, and maybe have it there for a week beforehand, because we're not gonna unveil it, the monument will be in place approximately 1 to 2 weeks beforehand. And we'll be adding a couple of names that we've discovered after, but then we're gonna cover it. And, we have 2 potential covers, one is waterproof, one's not. If the one that's waterproof is used, then we could Velcro that to it. If it's not waterproof, we're gonna put a top over it if the cover isn't, so. But certainly if not before, that day, having that there, and- you think, yeah. And then, Tom, as you see fit, if it could become part of the flag up, flag down, if that's not too complicated, then we could put that flag up too. If that's too complicated, we leave it just where it is. Right before we unveil it, we take it off, and then we hope to have as many veterans as possible, Vietnam era veterans, and specifically Hubbardson, that would do the unveiling. Right?
You need to have to put hooks.
Yeah, we'll have to put.
Because there's only so
on
much
the
stuff
pole,
that-
yeah.
that set up
There's
for
only-
the
It's too
now these are
complicated.
nylon,
Yeah,
they're
I
not
think
the
it would be-
heavy, they're not the heavy flag, they're
yeah.
nylon
Yeah, but it's,
flags.
we just need
Maybe
to,
too
You
complicated.
can Velcro it, yeah. if you
we
could
only
just
need
do
to
it.
put
Yeah.
two attachments on it.
Cause then we
so-
need people to do that, and so on and so forth, so.
And, you know, you can do that, it just pokes through and. you
Right
can
now, we gotta
do it.
worry about, we gotta have a flagpole, it's not connected right now, right?
Mhm.
And it's only a month away, so who's gonna coordinate that and get it done?
Maybe too complicated. I'll be very happy if the pole's ready, yeah.
Be
So
happy if
I
we have
found
a
out
vote
that
on
they
it.
have a flag, I didn't realize that every branch of the service had a flag. I went down in where I was, they're doing in
Where were you
Memorial
born?
Monument,
What
and
country
they,
were you born in?
I didn't know,
They'll get their
I
own
really
song,
didn't
too.
know, I thought there was just one, I didn't know.
That's right, we all have our own song.
And you have two, you have a new one
Taste in
and,
women, everything, it's all different.
you have a new flag and you have an old flag. This is the old Navy flag, is it the ship? No, it's, whatever. Anyways, you have an old and a new, so I bought one of each, an old and a new. So of Army, Navy, Marines,
You could always attach those
and
to
I
the
only got one
floats
Coast
or
Guard
have
because I
people
couldn't
carry
find a
them
Coast
down.
Guard
Yeah,
anywhere.
you could
How
attach
about
them
the
to floats.
having those on the float?
We can, I got all the things,
Yeah,
so
great.
we
I
can
think
put 'em
that's a
on the
good
float.
idea.
Space Force,
Yeah, but
Space Force.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be sending me a Space Force, but I don't know, they said they would try to.
Many veterans out of that yet,
I
right?
can't.
Well,
It's
they're
only
all
been
up in
2
the,
years.
they're
I
all
think
way up in
these
the
up.
sky.
I don't know if they, I'm waiting for them to see if they can buy, I bought just the 2 they had, they're gonna try to order some more, I don't know if I'll get them or not. But I thought they would be kinda fun to put on the float or to put somewhere, cause they're really nice, but I can always give one to my husband, it doesn't matter. I got Navy and Army, so I bought them anyway, they're supposed to send me, but I don't know if they will. So
not
that's what I
coming
got.
from China, are they?
What?
Not coming from China, are they?
Well, you know what, they probably are.
Mhm.
You know why? Cause everything's too expensive. You should've seen the flags that I wanted to get that were American made.
What have you
I said I could, yeah, but it, how do you do that, you know? Should I have gotten them?
Tough call.
Tough call, yeah, it is.
Are we gonna have a flyover?
I don't know on that. I don't know. So anyways, this is the prices.
We're not
I paid for
announcing that, we're
I paid for
95% positive, but I'm still waiting for a couple of more Ts to be crossed and Is to be dotted. I filled out all the forms with the FAA, I submitted it to Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island Air National Guard. I've specifically talked with Rhode Island, they were on TDY and just got back from Savannah, and so I'm waiting and hoping. I told them I would be happy with anything up to and including a carrier pigeon flying over it. And I said, anytime between 12:15 and 12:30, they said, you want it at 12:16, we can do it at 12:16, so, but, I don't wanna let the cat out of the bag or jinx myself, but, I spent a lot of time trying to make that happen, and we'll see. It'd be like the icing on the cake.
Okay, so that's it with the flags and stuff like that, and the t-shirts, we already went over that. The only problem is I have some people that want a 3X t-shirt, should I order 5 of those?
A what t-shirt?
3X.
A big one.
We have some big boys.
We have some big boys,
And girls.
all girls.
They haven't been on maneuvers for years.
No. This one guy says, I'm gonna walk it. I said, are you sure? Yeah, no, I'm gonna walk it. I said, okay. So,
You can always
so we
order
better have
big.
the,
People
we
can
better have
order
the rest.
bigger, but they can't fit into smaller.
That's
So,
right.
I mean, if you have a couple extra and somebody has to wear a larger one, then so be it.
So should
Do
I
you have
order?
enough left in the budget to do that?
I don't know, we get the budget at the end,
Okay.
so we'll see. Okay, and the church is confirmed, the podium is out in the shed, somebody better get that out of there.
What shed?
Our COA shed out there,
Okay.
it's just getting thrown around. I tried to put it right here, but they don't wanna hear, every time I turn around, it's back in the shed. I try to bring it in, and I got it back out, and it just gets thrown in there, it's gonna be bad. You should take a look at it, some of the stuff is peeling off it, you know, maybe we need to have a little TLC on it, maybe somebody.
It was dead years ago when I got rid of it.
Huh?
It was dead years ago when I got rid of it.
I know, but it's getting worse.
I'll take a look at it today.
Take a look at it, it's out in the shed, and it's in the corner there, I just,
You
I
might
just
be
don't
able to
want
get money to refurbish.
to build it, or
yeah.
refurbish it, but I don't know if they could do it before Memorial Day though, but
We're gonna ask.
Monty Tech is very good, yes.
They are pretty good.
So when you confirmed the church, Tom,
I have not yet. Well, normally I don't do that until somewhere early May, so I'll do that.
okay,
It's just a matter of going in and talking to the lady, and she hands me the key
okay.
and
And then,
tells me, do not take the good chairs out. We can only take the bad chairs out. So,
If we need more chairs, I bet we could get some from the Rod and Gun Club. Cause I'm thinking we may need more chairs, and if we do,
I'd rather have more than enough.
right.
I would rather have more than enough, than not enough, right? I bet we could maybe call, my nephew is on the board down there of some sort, maybe I could call him and see if at that day we needed some more, or the day before. 'cause
Don't they
we're
do
gonna
like a
send-
big chicken barbecue that day though?
They're not doing it this year, they said. So I don't
Chairs
know,
available.
they said they weren't doing it.
Tom, would it be appropriate at that point to ask about the parking of the military vehicles?
I was just waiting to let the chief here know that he's not sitting here for no reason. We have, we have 2 young men over in Barry, whose, one of them, their grandfather was his,
Higgins Energy.
the Higgins Energy kid, the one that, is in the wheelchair. And he took his grandfather's, hobby up to restore old World War II machines. And they've got, quite a few. One of them that shoots little things, and we told them, no, we don't want that one. Little balls or something.
Seen the one that Salvador has? They got a few up there.
No.
Different from,
Yeah, different.
Well, they had the Ontos up there.
ah,
So they wanted to know, they were gonna go in Hardwick, and when that went through, they called us and said, hey, could we put our machinery in this one, and we said, sure. And they would like to have it so they could have the people, if people wanted to look at them, they could do that. And so what I told them was, well, you know, you're gonna line them all up out there, you know, by the field. And, that's gonna be pretty busy, so I don't think that's gonna be a good place. So my thought was, if when they came down to the, you know, get down to the, you know, to the common, if somehow they could do a U-turn at the, I know that's a bad intersection there, or somehow find a way to get them turned around and then go back up there and park them, and we'll just tell everybody they're parked up there at the rec field, so you can go up there and do that.
Yeah, so generally when, obviously with the parade coming, the biggest issue we're gonna have is manpower, cause we're
Right.
down 2 full-time positions and 1 part-time position. We haven't been able to find anybody that's qualified to work on any of these things. So there's really like 5 of us, maybe 6 if we get a couple part-timers, 7. So we're gonna rely heavily, and DPW probably should come to one of these meetings, cause we're gonna rely heavily on them using barricades to block roads. Generally, when the parade gets to the common and veers up, we generally shut the road down anyway at Brigham. So we can just keep it closed long enough for them to be able to, how big, how?
Deuce and a half, big ones.
Deuce and a half, okay, so he could pull do a 3-point turn. 3-point turn type of vehicles, or?
Yeah, probably 3-point turn vehicle.
Okay, yeah, we can just keep it closed long enough where they can, do that and head back up, once the parade completely clears.
Yeah.
Now, where are they gonna be in the parade, have you determined that yet?
Nope.
My suggestion would be to the end.
Well, yeah,
It makes it easy for us to
we've always,
spin them around.
yeah, we've always put those vehicles towards the end of the parade.
So
Because
if
you
we
got,
did that, yeah, if we did that, it shouldn't be an issue.
but usually all the people that are marching up, to get onto the common are the ones that are in the front.
Right,
And there'll be, we could have probably some of the seniors and people who are, there's going to be some 2 or 3, I would think, that are gonna go up on the common. I think the
2 or 3 what, Tom?
of your floats,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and also the Lions are thinking that's where are they thinking of coming over onto your?
I have a thought on where would be fun to set up all the food. I have a thought on that. I was thinking, cause we're gonna have the ice cream social here, so I thought we could block off the front of the senior center. I can put tables out there, and the Lions Club could be right next to us. Like on that little spot right there, they could set up their wagon. That way they can have their ice cream, they can have a hot dog, they can have a place to sit outside or inside, and it's kinda all in one area together if the Lions Club thought
So
that
I'll
would be
talk
all
to you in the next day or 2.
Okay.
And then at the next meeting, I'll just tell them where they're gonna be.
Okay, alright,
yeah,
we'll
just
go.
touch base with me, cause if we're gonna shut the parking lot down.
Right, yeah,
Then we would need to know that and get the proper, blocking stuff.
What parking lot are you talking about?
This
This one.
yeah, this
Oh,
one.
right here,
Yeah,
okay,
'cause
yeah.
she's talking about the social going outside
Yep,
along
that's
the
fine,
front,
yeah.
which is fine. So
Yes.
for Halloween, we generally put the lions in the, 4 empty
Right.
spots are.
Right.
And it works out pretty well, cause they're tucked away, kind of recessed. And I don't think they need power now, do they?
Yeah,
No,
they do,
generate
they
it.
do.
Oh, they do.
Flo, I
they
think,
could run a
Flo
generator.
gave them, let them use power on Halloween,
Generator makes too much noise.
cause she's right there, so. It's just thought.
When this is
I'll get-
over
I'll get
today,
with you, both you
walk
and-
me out and I'll just make sure I know exactly where you think they ought to go.
Okay.
What about turning the trucks around Center School? Like, because it's got that big circle, unless you don't wanna drive
Cause you're
them.
elongating us, you're adding time to
Oh, okay.
Right.
getting them, because whoever's gonna be at the thing, there might be a couple cops there that don't wanna attend it, and they're gonna wait till they go all the way down, turn around and come back.
And they, also that is, even on a not big time, that thing is full of cars.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Early.
Will be for
Yeah,
this.
that's true. It would be
And
full,
EMD, don't forget you have them, you can talk to Dennis too about help.
So, Tom, how many vehicles are there, 2?
6.
Oh,
Six.
there's 6 of them,
Is that right, Tom?
Yeah, I think it's 6.
Now,
cause the rec field's kind of far away, I didn't know.
yeah, alternative.
That's where
The,
they're gonna line up.
post up. Well, after the parade, where are you gonna park them, back to the rec
Back,
field?
they're gonna go back to the rec field and park.
Claudia, you had some thoughts about that, that they'd
Well,
be-
I thought, what about the post office? I mean, could we block that off for them? Could they, cause you got the parking lot in the front, and then you got the parking lot where people, go into the post office, it's gonna be closed that day anyways. So wouldn't that be great to have it local, so people
Didn't think
aren't
about
gonna
that.
walk all the way down to the rec field?
They're not gonna do that,
They're not
other
gonna
than
do
walking
that.
back up to their cars.
Right, so in order for
maybe
the
GFA.
kids and everybody to really see them, I think
Parking
they
lot
would
with
love that.
GFA.
Back them into those spots, and then you got the spots in the front, that should be enough for 6, along here and then here.
Or how about a combination of that and GFA, split them up?
Why
I
couldn't you
don't
put
think
them
they'll
in this
walk to the
parking lot?
GFA.
Why couldn't you put them in that front row if you're blocking off the parking lot for everybody else,
Yeah,
and they're
that's
here?
gonna be determined, if we block off,
Here?
Yeah.
That would
if
be-
we block off this parking
It'd
lot,
be-
you could put them up in front along Main
That's what I'm
Street.
saying, yeah,
That's what I was
You
thinking.
could back in,
yeah,
right
where I
along Main
park.
Street.
Right along the,
Move
on
your-
Main Street or in here?
Oh, in the
Close-
parking lot, back
closest to
up
Main
against
Street.
Main Street, yeah.
Move your ice
So the-
cream up there, please.
So the
No.
front of them would either
No?
be, well, they can either go ahead in or.
Tom,
yeah,
mhm.
doesn't matter how
We
they
need the
park.
freezers. We need the freezers for the ice cream, and we need, so we're gonna serve the ice cream from in here. And
So
they'll,
that-
they could
if we
sit.
did that, that would bring everybody over here.
Mhm.
And they
And
could
just-
actually maybe, if they're toward the end, maybe tail off,
And just come in
and
here
just
and
come
not
in
turn
here
around.
instead of going all the way to the end, 'cause
So-
it's only another couple hundred
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah,
Right,
So
be
that would
perfect.
solve that, they could pull in, they could back in
be
and
perfect.
park there, yeah.
so
Nobody
that's a
else
good
would be
idea.
in here, so you'd have that whole 3 rows.
But you could still use the parking down there, cause we're gonna need to park. We're gonna be here early with the floats and all that. So you got parking down by the school, you got the parking over here, and you could still use those 2 front rows right here.
Problem is gonna be getting out, if somebody needs to get out, once the parade starts and once all this.
Oh, once they start, they can't get out, they're stuck. That's all there is to it, they can't get out. No, who would wanna get out anyway?
Well, plus I think what we came across with Halloween is, believe it or not, there's gonna be people that are gonna wanna get out,
Yeah.
guaranteed. As soon as you block a road off, somebody needs to use that road. So, with the Lions, with the military vehicles, with the social, there's a lot of foot traffic in this parking lot. So I would suggest we shut down anybody leaving until after that starts clearing out.
The people for the floats can park down at the rec field, there's a ton of parking down there, even in the field or in the spots
Wow,
and
we're
stuff
gonna,
too.
we're gonna load the veterans float here, cause we're gonna decorate it here. So, that
But
morning,
then
when
you
the
take it
veterans,
down there and it's out of the way.
Yeah,
huh,
You don't, you have to take it down there,
take it down there.
get in there, so,
Yes.
that's not gonna be a big deal.
So we're gonna decorate it here.
right, but have
So
them
the
park
people-
down there and pick them up down there, that would eliminate the cars down here.
And don't forget, they may come in and pick up their shirts down here too that day. So what I'm just saying is, the people that are riding on the float, the veterans that can't walk, could probably park down here, rather than have them park up there. And then they gotta get from there up to there. So if they could park here,
You won't have room.
we'll have room for them.
You
They'll
have-
be already
You have
here.
that whole row over here.
You have here, you
and
have
back.
there.
Depends how many, if you
I
wanna put
wouldn't
the
put-
trucks in
I
here.
wouldn't put too much more than the trucks in the front
Yeah.
lot, because police cruisers will probably be out, just to make sure that we can get to where we gotta get to. But when you put vehicles, they're gonna be big. When you put them there, you're kinda putting traffic toward walking areas. So if they park there and there, it shouldn't be an issue.
Right, that's what I was thinking,
Mm,
yeah.
in the back.
And the handicapped people that can't move, I think so. And then the school, people can park in the school parking lot.
Well, why don't you get the 2 guys with the big shirts, and they could carry some people.
They can barely walk. Okay, all right, so we're gonna get together on the parking and the stuff, so we'll do that. And we already talked about McCarthy picking up the veterans. And we have the signboard. What do we wanna put on the signboard? I thought Sue would be in charge of that. Up here, the signboard at the, what is it we wanna put on that?
Cause it has to be brief.
Has to be brief, so maybe we'll get together with
It was
somebody
actually done
later
before
on.
the new year, it just took me 10 days to get the registration.
Okay.
Lions Club, we already discussed.
I'll work with you on that, so.
Thanks, Bill.
We discussed the Lions Club, so we're gonna, Tom and I are gonna get together with that.
And in light of that, Lions Club is, it's very, very generous of them to do everything they're doing. The Go Green parking lot will be totally available for, parking. And I think that just in light of everything we're doing to try to organize this at the beginning and at the end and in between, that there's gonna be a lot of people parking up there. We're hoping the majority will be staying for both the parade and for the ceremonies. And Kellyanne, my daughter's gonna make sure the parking lot is as clear as possible. We think we can get 100 cars in there. But what I'd like is a volunteer from the Lions to be on site. And that person, as cars are pulling in, that person would say, do you plan on staying for both the parade and the services? And if they say yes, we're gonna park them in a particular area. If they say no, we'll put them in a different area, cause if they wanna leave early, that way they'll be able to get out. So rather than having no one there and people parking haphazardly and that becoming a cluster, Kellyanne and I talked yesterday, she's gonna kinda organize that and think that through. But if we had a person there, a volunteer from the Lions, Tom, can you take care of asking for someone for that?
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
I'll ask the woman that owns the place, see if she'd like to volunteer.
Yeah, she's volunteering the place, yeah. But she'll be there, and I think that person needs to be there by 9 AM at the latest,
Oh, yeah.
because I think,
We're gonna have a lot of people down there.
yeah, so I think that we would ask that person, and then they'd be through at 11, cause after that, that'd be over, so that person could still
Come up.
enjoy the parade and enjoy
Right,
the
come up with the parade.
ceremonies.
Okay, so the lineup, is Joe and Rich. Do we need another person? Do you think you two guys can handle that whole thing? I was thinking about it, I don't know. Do you think you're gonna need another person up there to help you organize that, or no?
The more the better probably, I'm not sure, it's like,
It
I'm
gets
looking at
very,
the list back here and
So,
it's already
If
changed.
they're coming down the
already.
road and one of us is gonna be the first one they see,
Here's what I visualize, the two of you would be there.
right
You're
at the
gonna-
same place?
You're gonna be like at the entrance to the parking lot, and you're gonna have a schematic. And the schematic is gonna have the listing of all the floats and all of the participants. We are gonna have meetings between now and then,
oh,
and
at least
we're gonna,
three, at least two more anyway.
and we're gonna work out those logistics. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be clear cut for you,
That would be
and-
helpful, and I also wanna march, you know.
right? Absolutely. So we want you to be through by 11 o'clock, so that you can be in the parade and you can be part of the ceremony. So that schematic will clearly identify, you'd say to the person pulling in, you know, what group are you with? And you'd say, okay, this is where you're parking. We have a lot of work left to do on that. And, but by that time, I'll have a measurement for how big the parking lot is. Can we fit 2 rows of contingents? You know, one kind of towards the road and one kind of towards the rec field? And do we have enough room for all of that? But that'll all be spelled out.
What about the floats? Are they coming?
The floats with the veterans will be coming up from the senior center here, right? Up to the,
Yes.
you know, and you'll be organizing them, you know, and I would think that probably be some latecomers that'll be jumping
Yes.
on, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But as it looks now, I've reached out to 6 different, I hope I haven't overdone it, reached out to 6 different, car clubs. And I've received response from 2, very positive. They said that they would, both of them said they'd try to give me an idea of how many vehicles would be coming. And so my sense is that Claudia and I have talked about that we're definitely gonna need the field itself for something like that, the overflow, and that, if we had 30 cars come representing 3 or 4 different organizations, remember, many of these club members are veterans, and that's the reason we want them there. So I think that, we'd have no idea, you know, how many cars are gonna come unless they're told, and you never know. So how would we space it in the parking lot? So my sense is we put them up on the field, and they'll have plenty of room to kinda get together and be with their own club if they want, so to speak. And then, we've got a lot more to do on this, but then you guys would literally be telling them that, for example, 4 or 5 floats go by, and then 1 car group would come down. And you'd say, okay, now it's time for you guys to come down. And then maybe a couple more floats, we can work that out, and then another group of cars, rather than having them all at once. But if that becomes too complicated, then we would just have them at one point in the parade, joining the parade, but they'd be coming down off the field and going through the parking lot onto the main street. So that's my initial thoughts as of now.
And Sandra Barry got back to me, and she said she was actually thinking about it, and her thoughts were you could line the parade up through the parking lot and then continue it on the road that runs behind the large soccer field and the fence. So I think when we decide to do the lineup thing, we need to have her here, so that she can tell us what's allowed and what's not,
You
and where
wanna
things
try to
are.
keep the people off the main highway, you don't want
Yep,
people on the
right.
highway.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah, so we want them in
So
the
that was-
parking lot, we want them up on the field, and she's referring to that first gate that opens up, and then that road leads back to the soccer field.
Behind the shack.
There's
Gazebo.
also, parking spots.
So by the baseball field.
Yes.
Oh, okay, not the soccer.
she said soccer.
Yeah, so the,
She
double
said
ones.
you could line the parade up through the parking lot and then continue on that road that runs behind the large soccer field and the fence.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
I would see better.
So she was gonna have the cars lined up on as much pavement all the way around, is that what she was trying to do?
That, I think what she is, but that's why I say we definitely
That's
need
not
to have
Yeah,
her
you
here
don't want 'em
Yeah.
while we do the
ruining the
lineup.
fields and
There
all
is a
that,
strip
that's
of
for sure,
pavement.
that ain't
Well,
gonna be a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, depends
Yeah,
on
the
which
strip
end
of
she's
pavement.
talking about. One side has pavement, and that's the side, so if you're facing the field itself, from the parking lot this side, you have this side that has a good gate that, is over by the skate park, and it goes all the
Yep.
way back around and it goes towards where the shed is. The center I would not use ever, and then there's one at the other end that's dirt, and it does, again, go all the way up, and that's by the Go Green.
Yep.
But that has a double gate as well. The center I wouldn't use,
That's
cause
where
the
the
gate
line is
doesn't
through
open
the
well.
hayride. Field there you go.
When you say the center, what are you talking about?
The center gate, the main,
center gate,
in
I
the
got you.
middle,
Yeah, yeah.
where that leads to
But-
the gazebo, I would not
But I think
leave.
that if we have 30 or 40 cars, then maybe it would be necessary to go up onto the field, you know, because I've driven up on that field. And,
I've driven up on that field
yeah,
lots of times.
and so there's no issue there,
Cars
there's
all
no-
over it when they have a field day.
Yeah, so that way, we're leaving spaces in between the groups, so if more come a little bit later, they'd be able to get with their group.
If it's really wet, would it affect the cars going up there?
By the 30th of May, the answer is no, that's dry by then.
This is gonna take communications, because, you know, there's gonna be a boondoggle otherwise.
Otherwise,
People are
that's
gonna
a
have
good
to
reason to
talk
have that
one
third
another.
person, right, Joe?
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
and like I'm saying,
just experience with the 250th parade.
Right.
That was a cluster and a half. I was, you were there. I was
Yeah,
able to
I
get
was
there, and
there.
I was able to organize people into groups, into shifts, into
Bless you.
stages and all that stuff, and it worked out, but it takes a few people to be able to coordinate, cause I think they threw it all on Katie, and
Pretty much.
she had everything else, and then she I think you
I
gave it to
had
somebody else who was
Karen, I had
completely
Karen
lost.
and Joe
Yeah,
there
yeah.
with the list.
But
Poor
So
Karen
now
and
we're
Joe.
gonna preempt that by having two, and now I think we need to have a third person
I think
for
so.
that overflow.
yeah,
So we're gonna be looking for a third volunteer. Think that's enough, Katie?
Yeah, if they're all grouped together, so realistically, if you're going to try to organize cars on the actual fields themselves, I would suggest using the gate over by the skate park because of the fact that you can drive up easily
Yep.
onto that soccer field and turn around. There's no irrigation on that soccer field, so you're less likely to do any damage, and it's also less of a slope. And you have more of a turning radius between that baseball field and the soccer field. That would be my 2 cents.
Okay.
But again, that's just me, so
No, I
Sanda
think-
will
I
say
mean,
stuff.
we park cars there.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, there's the
Field
least amount of,
day.
it's also usually the driest of the fields, if there is water still a problem, it's the less likely of doing damage.
So who's the third person? What do you recommend?
Yeah, we need to get one more person. Who
I
do you
mean,
like to
well,
work
I'm
with?
there, I'm gonna be there, I can help.
You're gonna be up on the field?
I'll be at the, yeah,
You're gonna be you're gonna drive the police car, the first one down, right?
I won't do that.
So the first
Somebody-
guy is
somebody
standing in
else-
the middle of
somebody
the
else will
street,
do that.
float comes down, you don't have anything to do with the floats, they just line up.
Well, you're gonna have that schematic. It's
Yeah.
gonna say, okay, what float do you represent, identified, and then you're gonna put them in a place which is identified on the
And
schematic.
then as cars come,
Yeah.
you just, like she was just saying, just follow that.
Yeah, that's our thought, but between now and then,
Yeah, we still gotta work it out.
we're gonna have a lot of things to work out, but I feel very comfortable that between having three and I think another person, rather have
Yeah.
too many than not enough,
Yeah,
you
more.
know?
That's right.
Cause once, let's say somebody says, I'm not sure what you mean, and so you wanna walk them up and get them in the right spot, cause that's gonna be very essential, because when it comes to the parade coming down, that's where Laurie is gonna be working with WGAW, and she wants to be identifying the correct float. It's not rocket science, but it just requires preparation beforehand, and literally, we've all volunteered to go up and walk through and talk about that, Rich, so, you know,
Bob, do you think any of the firemen would wanna volunteer just for an hour up there to help set, to help?
2 hours,
One of them,
yeah,
2
2 hours.
hours?
Mhm.
Probably.
Maybe
We
you
won't
could
have a lot of staff. I think we'll have more than we usually do, because it's been a couple of years since we've actually done a
Yeah,
Memorial Day parade, so.
and this
I
is a
think
special.
we'll probably have maybe 8 to 9 guys, I would guess, so we probably could have somebody help out.
Come down and
yeah.
help. So why don't you check and let us,
Will
I'm
you
gonna
let us
put 'em
know, Bob?
down.
Sure.
Okay, let us know, and that person would be part of the orientation and go over the schematic, cause we're looking to avoid the cluster.
Is there like a second phase where they go from the field down here, but we have to organize them?
Then the ones that would be literally going up on the common, you know, you're gonna be, they'll know that, number one, but number two, you'd be telling them that. And that would be some of the marching groups and the National Guard, so we would, they'll know that, but you would reinforce that. And then we wanna provide Laurie with a little bit of detail regarding some of the groups, so that she'll be able to identify the group coming and what they represent and sort of why they're here. But I'll be happy to work with you on that, so that you can add some color commentary.
The only thing with that, you want that third person, cause you wanna make sure this doesn't turn into a cluster.
Yes,
This will be the one time that person needs to go because we have a major event. So now I'm thinking, most likely 99%, they will not be leaving, but if
Yeah,
they're committed and you really need that person,
no, you gotta go.
we'll
So-
have an emergency that they're needed, so.
That's what
That's
Chief-
why
Is that
there's
how
enough
it
people,
works?
I think you could find somebody else to help out with parking, now that I think of it. Cause it wouldn't be one of those, they're just helping out, and then if they have to leave, they leave. Now you're talking about they leave, they're the only one that knows
okay.
this parking and they'll bend to the meetings. If they're gone, it isn't like somebody else can step in and take their place. So it'd probably be preferable to find somebody else.
Alright, we're gonna have to think, let's think for the next meeting, who we can come up with that would be and in the meantime, we can ask somebody, if we find someone, we'll ask them if we can get one or two more people up there to help,
I'll
because
bring
I
it up
really
with-
think they're gonna need more
Bring it
than
up
just
with
the
the
two of
Lions.
them.
I'll bring it up with the Lions, we might
Yeah.
find one.
Check, well, Dennis O'Donnell, I'm gonna try to use some of the emergency management people,
Mm-hmm.
Good
but I
training.
kinda need them for
Yeah,
roads.
good training.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Alright, so we're gonna look for, in the meantime, we're gonna look
How
before our
about
next.
having marshalling areas, easy to identify with a big A, B, C, a D, and,
I
otherwise
think
there's
the
gonna
problem,
be too much,
the biggest problem is the parking lot is not big.
right.
Do you
I
think
think
we
you've
can
seen
fit
that,
two sets of
yeah,
floats?
you've seen, I mean, I don't know, without knowing how long the floats are, and, I mean, we used to organize a parade in Socket, and we used a entire plaza. And yes, you identify you're in H or B or C or whatever, and there's signs, and they line up, and, there's one person that's telling people to go, and, but here, the problem is you're limited with space. Expanding into the field, I think, is a good idea, but you're still limited as far as turning radius, and you got people walking, people trying to turn around,
mean,
Because
it's
that'd
like-
be a case where if someone pulled into the wrong entrance and they're gonna be up the other end, you might wanna direct them up to the other end to come in, so they're not gonna have to
So
turn around.
every single car that pulls in, we have to tell them
Way to go.
where to go.
Yeah, yeah,
So
in a nice way.
why don't we switch where people are parking? Why don't you move the floats and stuff to go green, because they have a wider instance, and the rec field holds 100 cars, plus you could park them all up on the right if you needed to, and then you've got a bigger space to turn people around.
Do
The
you think
problem
it'd
is,
be,
this further away, so when you're ready to start, you have groups in that one parking lot and groups in the other. How do you coordinate them to start and them to go?
I was saying if you put them all in Go Green, all the marchers in Go Green, it's not
no,
them, it's
not,
right.
they're gonna, Go Green's gonna be the parking lot. So
But
we're
I'm saying if
talking
you
rec
put-
field
If you
and,
flipped them, yeah, if you flipped them, if you said this is where we're gonna park the attendees, are gonna park in the rec field, and then you park the floats in Go Green, cause you have a much wider area to park than
So
on the
I
road.
think we first have to figure out, right now, I have 2 floats for the veterans, maybe a third one for veterans. Now, the singers are not gonna get on a float, they decided not to. The Golden Ages is looking for a truck and a trailer to pull them. That's all I have as far as floats that I know of.
so two.
I have the veterans,
Mhm.
2 or 3, if
Mhm.
I can get 3, I will, and the Golden Ages.
So how much
that would be
longer
4.
do you think this parade is in comparison with past parades?
Well, I've only done 2 before, but we're gonna have a lot more, we got more people marching in it.
So walkers, I don't think it's that big.
Yeah, that's walkers.
Walkers is easy,
Yeah.
cause
Just line up and
you don't have to
yeah,
worry about the
go.
vehicle after the fact, once you get down here, what are you gonna
Right.
do with all the vehicles, where they going?
So right now, that's what we have, unless, and, you know, we can put in a thing out if your organization would like to. The Lions Club usually puts some kind of a floaty thing in there, don't they? What do they put in?
Well,
Don't they put
they're-
the,
they were discussing that with me the other day, and I said, oh my God. I don't know, we have a meeting coming up this next,
so they usually put
week.
a little something, but I don't know if you're gonna this year.
Yeah.
But I think, Laurie's point is valid, that maybe we do flip them around, cause I'm sure my daughter wouldn't mind whoever goes in the parking lot, if that's bigger and wider and open. But why don't we defer that to the next meeting,
Okay,
cause we have time for that, and we can work out the logistics.
We have an extra truck, so if you want, I can pull a truck, but I do not have a trailer. But if I can get a trailer from like Joyce, cause she's got a few of them, I don't know whoever used them, we can go early and pick up a trailer that day or whenever, so.
cause we
I'll
need
look.
them there, we need the
Remember,
ones
you're out
there,
on
the
you're
the
out
day
on mic.
before, we need to
My
decorate.
husband will drive it.
We
You
can't
don't want me
decorate,
driving a float with people on it, are you kidding me?
we can't decorate them,
You got experience?
can't decorate them that morning, there's no way.
No, I know, but I'm saying
No.
we can pick it up wherever it is, we can pick it up earlier that week if you want it down here, so you can decorate it or wherever it goes.
And we're
then
gonna
I'm gonna
need
be
help
down
with
here
that.
anyway,
We'll
so
need-
he can pick it up, so we have a truck.
Yeah, and we'll need some help with that.
Once they're parked up there, they're there until it's over. They can-
They're there until the parade begins,
Yeah.
and then they'll be coming out, and that's when the two of you can join the parade and come up and try.
Will all the cars be able to leave if they want to, or will some
Leave where?
up in the field if they?
Yeah, once the parade is over, I think the majority of the antique classic cars are gonna leave.
Yeah.
And those that wanna stay are gonna have to find someplace to park, and I don't have the answer to that. I don't know, would they be able to go back up to the rec field?
From,
Yeah, they
Yes.
could make a U-turn and go back
so
up.
generally, the way we've always done the parade is we open roads as we pass them. So we shut down the road at the rec field, all the way down. Parade begins, first intersection, Williamsville Road. Once it passes Williamsville High Street area, we open those up, pull up barricades, so people can turn left. As we move down, same thing happens as we make our way down. So once everybody is tucked into the common, Main Street's open.
Main Street's open, yeah.
We'll position a cruiser there, and at the end of it, we'll block it off for people to cross back over on this side, but that's generally how it's done.
So a person could go back up Main Street at that point and
Yes.
park at the rec field?
Yes.
Okay, so you could tell them after the parade, if they wanna turn around and come back up to the rec field to park, and then walk down for the ceremonies, they can.
And we also have Hubbardston Center School when they can.
Yeah, and there might be, I doubt there will be, but.
After the parade, there's no parking on Main Street at all? Is there, like, the parade's over, we made it all through, are they allowed to park back up
I
here?
don't wanna mention it.
Yeah.
I'd rather people think there's no parking, so, there is parking on Main Street. People can park on Main Street, but,
Okay. Yeah.
with people crossing in and out, as crowds, the less cars on the street, the better.
Okay, so we talked about the floats, we have two, Laurie said she has a truck, we can find a float for that one. Deb's looking for something, and you know who has a trailer is the guy up at the church, we used his trailer one time. It's for sale, but if he
Scott.
doesn't sell it, maybe we could use that. So, that's what we have so far, and we already spoke to Sandra Berry about the flag. Now the other thing was the songs, when the military people put their little poppy, you know, one from each branch, puts their poppy on the wreath. And they play the band, some band should play the songs, like the Army song, the Navy song, as the Navy guy goes up. Do you want the singers to sing that, the senior singers, or with their song? Or would you rather have, I don't know, Joyce
I would
sing it,
think-
or nobody, or?
I think just the music itself.
He sang last time and it was nice,
Yeah, no.
yeah, so, I mean, I
Are
can
they
ask,
count with that, if they're counting on doing it, yeah, do it.
ask the singers, I mean, it's a community thing, it's partition, you
Yeah.
know.
So
You
they're
could
gonna
take
sing
part-
5 songs?
Yeah, and they're small, they're just a little verse, you know, as, by the time they get up, put the guy, you know, Tom, I guess you're gonna announce, you know, Navy, and he'll get up, walk over, put the poppy in, and the song's done. Then he'll announce the next person, they'll do that song, and it'll be done. So it just adds a little, it's kinda nice, it doesn't make the thing any longer, because they're gonna put the poppies on anyway, right?
It's
So-
our program, it's your program, you're designing it, that's a good thing, I think, you know, more people involved in that little bit, it's not gonna take that much more time.
No, so I will ask our singing group,
To
our
sing.
senior singer group to participate in singing. And we can set a certain, let's set the chairs for however many for them to sing, so they'll all be
Definitely.
together.
So at that point, we
Only
would
two
not have the
veterans in
band play any military songs.
Huh?
At that point, we would not have the band play any military songs,
Well,
and that's fine.
they could play and the singers could sing along with them. That's
that
what
been done
Nancy was
before? Yeah.
thinking.
Okay,
So if we gave, Nancy will get this, she knows the guy in Quabbin, she was a music teacher here at school. She knows the director at Quabbin, she could maybe work with him as to which ones they're gonna sing first and like.
that's if the Quabbin band is
If the
there.
Quabbin, we
Okay.
don't know for sure
If the
yet.
Quabbin band isn't there, then I would need to coordinate that with the band, so I need to know the songs.
Yeah, I got them right here,
Okay, can I have a copy of that so I can,
yes, we'll make a copy before you leave.
because if the Quabbin band comes, then how does the group feel about the, band we've hired and we're paying for, them leaving after the parade? Cause why do we need two bands up on the common? You know, so that would free up more room on the common and, you know, cause if we're not gonna if the Quabbin band comes and we have somebody from Quabbin playing taps, then what other function is the band at that point? So.
Yeah.
So I'd say.
Well, normally they just pick some kind of
Don't they play
a
while the
song, you know, that's appropriate and they just play it while everybody else walks off the common.
Yeah, but couldn't that be the Quabbin band?
It could be, but don't they have, when we saw the patriotic flag ceremony down in, they played a song, the band played while they lifted the flag and brought it to, you know. They have
Is
little,
there a amount of time that you have these people for?
Yeah, 2 hours. Yeah. So we've got 'em plenty of time, but rather than having them just come up on the common and not do anything,
Yeah,
just.
I would think,
Can you send them over here, or maybe during this ice cream social or something, and then those
That
vehicles?
probably would be more than the time we've hired them for, because that's after 1 o'clock, that would be,
That's true.
okay. Can I have a copy of the songs?
yes.
Cause as that becomes evident, I would contact them and say, we'd like you to be prepared to coordinate some music to go with the songs that are being sung by the group, right?
don't know, it's all,
They were all common songs.
yeah, they're the songs that they sing every day, play every day, any play, if they're a marching band, they know them all.
They know them now, okay, yeah. That's the
And-
second.
And you know, my thought would be, as I'm listening to this, would be, we're gonna have, if the Quabbin band comes, they're gonna be, you know, we're gonna have to put a band towards the front of this and one towards the back.
Yep. Mhm.
And then the one we hired is going to really be the band that's gonna play up on the field. And the Quabbin band, then if at the end of the ceremonies, and before we do till we get to I assume we're going to, it's gonna be after the memorial ceremony, then we're gonna get to the Vietnam Memorial. Is that when we're gonna do that? Towards the end?
Yes, yep.
So at that point, we could switch bands.
Okay, yeah, and have them both get involved.
Well, if they wanna leave, if the one we hired wants to leave, they could boogie, and the other one, the Quabbin band could come in and play. Think about that.
But they'd leave in the middle of the ceremony?
Well, I'm trying to figure out, in
Yeah.
my mind, how we could use two bands.
Okay,
And so, we're gonna have this, you know, that's on your, it's gonna come all the way down, and, you're gonna have a benediction.
who does that?
You don't have anybody.
We have to have a chaplain of some sort.
Is that you?
It might have to be, it's been before.
Yeah,
Okay.
I heard that.
And it's after that, we're going to do the dedication of the
Yep.
memorial.
Mhm.
So that's kind of a little place, that one band could
Mhm.
take off and the other one could move up, and we should give them something to do.
Do you think we'd have room for two bands on the common?
I think we should all take a field trip and go up and look at that one day.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
having
Yeah,
a meeting, I
yeah.
think we should all go up there so that everybody has an idea of how we might like to set it up,
Yeah.
where we might like to do this, where the party should go, where the chairs should go, where the podium, where the I think, because I noticed the monuments now are all facing the road, you know, so, I mean, I don't
They
know,
always have been.
yes, but now
We
since
can
we're
turn them around for
dedicating,
that day, though.
we're dedicating
around
them,
it.
maybe we wanna set it up a little differently.
That's a good idea.
So I think the next meeting, we should plan on going up there
Mhm.
and looking at that.
We were, he and I are over looking at the,
Um,
the memorial the other day, and they're just cleaning it, and, you know, and so it's laying on its side, but up, I mean, it's, you know, it's being handled very tenderly.
oh,
But
good.
it's, what, 27,000 pounds?
The monument itself is 8,500 pounds, and the
85.
base is 4,500 pounds, for a total of 13,000 pounds.
So, but it's a heavy piece of,
And how are you doing
Alright,
the
so-
dedication?
Might bring to the-
Somebody gonna walk up to it?
Yeah.
it's gonna be there.
Yeah, but I mean.
Yeah.
So let's,
There's only 10 copies.
Well,
Let's
when
well,
we,
you can do more.
let's
Yep.
let's get through these little things, and then we can just, you know, do it. But John,
sure.
John needed to have some help with the programs, right, John? What do you need from us now? You
I
need some,
need, when you're looking at the one I passed out, there's a bunch of X's. I need the participants, like the kids that are gonna be doing
we don't know that yet, we haven't
the,
got
I know,
anything
well,
yet.
that's why it's still blank.
Okay,
I
so,
just got X's there.
so this is what we wanna do, right? We're gonna do this? Is everyone in agreement
Yeah,
on
I'm
this?
thinking maybe we should have an insert in there, so it's actually 5 pages, but 6 pages.
Okay,
What about doing a legal size and then folding it into thirds, that would get your other piece? Then you're not having an insert and trash blowing around, if you did
That's
a
the
legal
first
size.
thing I thought of, John.
If you
Mm.
go
Little pieces of
inside
paper
and then
flying all over
inside
the
and
place.
then over, we can work on it, but you could print it on a legal.
Should be-
Probably
I don't
do-
know, this is, I like this. I like the size, I think it's
It will
big.
still be that size,
think-
it's just gonna fold out bigger, a little bit bigger, but then you're not having inserts
You
blowing.
can make it a trifold if you have.
Yeah.
Like a
Yes,
Rand
that's
McNally
what I'm-
map, it'll actually fold out like this big. It'll
What
be
is
that
it?
size.
It's illegal, 17 inches?
Yeah.
11 by 14.
11.
So they're thinking they want a trifold, John.
Well, we can try it. We can try a trifold.
map.
We can try a
It's
trifold.
8.5 by 17.
And then you mix up the folding, and then it's like that thick instead of that.
This is too big, but
Yeah.
this is bigger than what it's supposed to be, cause you're running the same size, but you could just go this way and then this way, but it would be that size, and then you could open it, you have this, and so you'd get 6 pages in one paper.
And that you'd have to squish the picture.
We can make it.
No, you would still have that same front size.
It'd be
One of
this
those
just-
pieces of paper in the copier.
Yes.
Well, I need- no, I need
in your
some.
hand, it would be just like that, it just would start folding
Oh,
out.
I'm sorry.
Like origami.
I'm talking about
Yeah,
the printing.
and the reason for it is that it's not separate pieces of paper, they're
Right.
gonna be,
Flying all over the
Yes.
place.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so we need to work on filling this out for
We
John.
can make the picture smaller and make the print a little smaller too, still come out with the
Yeah,
stuff,
you
the
can,
same
you can
thing.
adjust the spacing on it too. So it's single spaced.
Fairly easy, you know.
I told you there was one in there.
There's two.
Yeah, so, there's still
Mm.
two.
I don't like the print too small. Can't see it.
I will talk to you.
I like it a little bigger.
Tough to be all the time.
Help to be old. I know. Alright,
Yeah.
so
I'll talk to you.
we'll work on
about
this,
it.
John,
I've
get
got
you
it
some more
here, so I'll
names.
ask them a couple questions.
So this would be the size, that's very nice.
Not bad, yeah.
That's not bad. What is this, legal?
It's
Laurie?
legal.
It's legal,
Yeah.
yeah.
We have a ton of it next door.
John, I'm giving you this. Laurie has a ton of it next door. And she has a printer over there too.
Wonderful.
Do you have color over there?
I just had a quick question on this proposed lineup. Is this like set in stone or?
No, we haven't gotten to
Okay.
that yet.
Okay, is that next on the thing?
Can we just wait?
Yep,
a
no,
second?
I'll shut up then, sorry,
We-
my
We're gonna
bad.
come to that.
I'm sorry, my bad.
I gotta have my organization, I get it.
Okay, I
Okay,
apologize.
so John, we're gonna get more
You got a
names for
what?
that, and then see
I'm
things like
quiet
that on
back
this.
here.
Alright, so we're gonna work on John for names and Elizabeth Hunter, I just wanna touch base on that. I talked to Paul Sweeney, and she should have a flag on there. Bill, right? Have you gone down to see?
Yeah, I found her grave site.
Yep.
it does have a flag on it
Okay,
already.
good.
I made sure of that. In fact, there are two flags.
Okay.
One to commemorate her as a veteran, and then secondly to commemorate her as a female veteran of World War I. So, other than the condition of that graveyard, it's pretty sad, but I spent some time trying to clean her stone up, so I sent her grandson a picture of it, so he would feel a little better about it.
Okay.
So that's all taken care of,
Okay.
yeah, cause it has flags on it.
Just gonna put done. And Sue, the front page of the newsletter, this is you.
The
So-
one, get to the center of town, take the right, side down that way, on the right hand side. A lot of it is muddy and moss covered with
Take
broken
one, pass it
stones.
around.
Nope, that's okay.
So, some of you, i.e. my husband and Bill, know I have been struggling with the front page of the Senior Times. And I brought this to the, over to Monty Tech. And the kids, I love the eagle and I love the flags. The unfortunate, Bill, this is a wonderful article, but it's just too much for the front page. What I'm proposing is, like almost like an invitation on the front page, just to, and we need to work with the verbiage. I would recommend that we figure out the verbiage and then give it to the kids over at Monty Tech. They did an awesome job, cause I'd like to just show you what they did. This is the April newsletter. If you saw the Senior Times at all, it was very different. It was all colorful and everything else. So these are what they proposed for different, it all has the same information, but just see how very different each one is. And I just thought, the talent there is incredible. Well, look at this one. Isn't that really cool? I like this. I like the way he took the Senior Times and made it, you know, like the Worcester Telegram and Gazette, that old English. Who thought to do that? I mean, you know, it just, so I've adopted that. So, they did that on this one here. I just think the background is great. It's just, there's too many words.
It's gonna be in color, the background will be in
Yeah,
color.
and this is also gonna be in color. The eagle and the flag and everything's gonna be in color. So,
Be hard to read it.
no, so, honey, see, of course, I don't have the background. But what I'm suggesting is we do something like this, the fonts would be different. I would give this to the kids and say, play, make it look really cool, and they would submit us and we can choose what we want for the front page to look like. But in brainstorming with Claudia, we're thinking an invitation. So when our newsletter gets out into the community, this is the front page. Come join us. We have this really special event that we're having lunch in there.
So what happens to all the words that you put?
Are you
to this
limited
that
to
goes
one
to the back
page?
now?
Oh, no, the
So
newsletter's
then you
8
post it.
pages, but this
Oh.
would be
I'm okay
this
with
is
it.
the front page.
So what
You
you
might
thought-
wanna consider maybe having this run from one page to another and then blocking off part of this to put your invite information right there. So
What
that
about-
the two are tied together.
What about this being an insert?
That's exactly, I was
Well,
gonna say
yeah.
that, yeah.
We're gonna put that as an insert.
I mean, cause
There's a lot of good information. He did
but they
lot
raised a
of work.
lot of money, and
Yeah,
like they did a lot of
Yeah,
work,
we
so
were
I mean,
gonna-
I don't feel
yeah.
like
Very
they
articulate.
Oh, no, we're
Yeah.
Thank you.
so,
We weren't gonna not do.
no, but like even
we're
an
not
insert in
not
that,
gonna
Considering
use
it's after
it,
midnight
but for the
on
front page,
Couple glasses
Just-
of wine.
right, maybe
It's
not
a
the front
lot.
page, but an
It's a
insert would
lot.
be great.
Absolutely, we
Yeah.
thought of
and
that,
you know,
yeah.
some people, they pick it up and they start reading it and they
I kinda
get
like that.
interrupted, whereas if
I
they
put a
had
lot of
something
time
like
into
this,
this already.
hopefully it would catch
So what do you
their eye.
think about the front, what do you think about that? Do you wanna change it? We're
Yes.
looking for
Or-
changes,
Yes.
we're looking for, okay.
I
good.
think that, you're leaving out, where you're saying time 11 AM. I
Mhm.
think you should put parade, cause that's when
Okay.
that begins, and then 12 o'clock ceremony. And then heroes is not spelled correctly.
Didn't show up on, my words. Oh, it's supposed to
so-
be ES, okay, yep, you're right.
It's okay,
thank
no,
you.
rather now than after.
Yes,
Oh, because believe me,
That's actually a
when they pick up
sandwich.
their eggs, they'd be telling everybody,
That's a sandwich.
Yeah,
this is wrong.
So do you have
There's
a
an
better way
extra
we can
space
word
between
this?
and
This is
an
some-
American.
We just threw this out there, Sue,
What
Sue
you want
printed it up and
is-
thought,
What you want is who,
I don't know
what,
if that matters.
why, where, and when.
Yes.
And
Also
if you
hot
answer
dogs
those
is 2 words.
questions,
Yep.
and you want it to be bullet points, then you've accomplished it. Cause you have it all here,
Right.
you know, who, what, when, where, why, and how,
Yeah.
so, something like that.
Yep.
Mhm.
so.
So-
So do you think the wording is good, or do you think we wanna change that around a little, or do you have a better idea?
That's what we're looking for.
Or you wanna think about it and give us a call, call Sue?
I'll be in tomorrow till
Well,
11:12.
and you know, it's what we wanna emphasize,
Mhm.
it's still Memorial Day.
Right.
And what the meaning of Memorial Day is. And it's more than just the dedication. The dedication is like the special part of it.
Mhm.
So you wanna be sure people understand what Memorial Day is,
Right.
cause it's the
We
honor,
have
the
that in our
sacrifices.
circular now, it's General Logan's orders and the
Right,
whole
that's in,
process that's in there.
1873,
Guess we're waiting on Bill.
But it says it. I mean, if, depending on the amount of time and space you have, you know, you're gonna make this, you know, a special
Yeah.
on the front page.
Yeah.
You know, then I think it covers what you're looking to cover. And, you know, you
Do we
wanna,
need to add a little fling to it somehow?
well, you wanna, point out that this is gonna be a very special Memorial Day for more than one reason.
Instead
And
of
that is
huge,
because
maybe
we
we
haven't
should
had
put
it for 2
special.
years.
Instead of huge, we should maybe put special there, right?
Mhm, yeah,
Maybe Memorial Day celebration and dedication of Vietnam era memorial.
And
Make it
dedication.
part of the actual title of the event.
That's a good idea. Special Memorial Day celebration and dedication of Memorial Day, Memorial, Vietnam, okay, yeah.
and say, instead of using memorial over and over again, use monument when it comes to the,
Yeah.
yeah, cause that
Use
gives
what,
you
Sue, what'd she
a
say?
little
Use-
bit of
oh, use-
Oh, we
variety.
already argued about that.
Who won?
Who had the who won the argument?
Obviously Claudia did because
You
you
just
just nixed me.
Okay. And you brought up that welcome home, which is
Mhm.
what our guys didn't get, so that's
Yeah.
good. And then you're saying, you know, you wanna say, the all welcome is encompassing, so I think that's perfect, cause you
Mhm.
don't have to be a veteran to come, you don't have to be a
Right.
Vietnam veteran to come, you don't have to be a Hubbardston Vietnam veteran to come, we want you all to come.
Right.
Maybe move the all welcome to the end or something, cause it says
I think that's a
welcome
good idea, yeah,
really
all
close to-
welcome at the end, yeah. And you wanna say, American Patriotic Celebration?
That's good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, easy.
Okay. Alright, so you're all set for the front page. Now, the last two I did up was the people that I thought were gonna march. Now, I know, Bill, I'm not sure if I got all the right people, the color guards, the,
Okay, where's that, that's the next page?
this one here for the lineup. This, I wanted to make sure we had a list of people. I don't know if this, I missed anybody. The militia I don't have on here, so I gotta get, I put them on.
It says militia,
I-
top of the second.
Oh, yeah, I do have it on there. Oh, no, I meant military
That's
vehicles.
strange, cause
The military
I
vehicles
looked at
are-
it and didn't see militia, and then Andrea said, it's right there on top, Tom.
Oh,
Okay.
I meant the military vehicles I don't have on there.
Alright, so there's no Cub Scouts, and Girl Scouts and Brownies are the same thing.
Alright, there's no Cub Scouts.
Cub
and the
Scout.
Girl Scouts and Brownies is all in one. Are they
Yeah.
gonna be marching as a Brownie and as a Girl Scout?
It's a brownie is
Or-
a Girl Scout. So
They're
we
gonna-
will be in troops, yes, but you're talking
Good.
at the most for Girl Scouts 30 kids. For Boy Scouts there's 10. And some of them are also in the ROTC and they may be marching there. And then my one other suggestion is never put horses in front of people that march, especially in formation
Right, they go in the back.
in the
Yeah,
parade.
because they're obligated to step on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, and that those
Well, also, if they
uniforms.
get too close to the horses, they might get kicked.
No, it's not that. It's walking through the poop.
Yeah,
The Girl
well-
Scouts and the Boy Scouts will be able to walk around, but they still. It's inevitable that some kid steps in it. But
Unless you have a
So
fast
Kay,
farm.
let me just go back over here, you
Yes.
said there's 10 Boy Scouts,
Is there a
At
fast
the
farm
most,
with a-
yes.
with a
and there's no
trash
Cub
can?
Scouts.
no Cub Scouts
Wasn't
at
there
this point.
another-
Maybe a couple of mothers
No,
with
Boy
a,
Scout-
with a, you know, a dustpan or
So the
something.
Gr- Girl Scouts, there's
Ever walk
4
around
Girl
Central Park
Scouts,
in New York?
There's
Yeah.
4 troops.
All over the place.
4 troops.
Yes, so we have a
Oh,
Daisy
New York.
troop, we have a Brownie troop, we have a Junior troop, and then we have my troop, which consists of cadets, seniors, and ambassadors.
Alright, so we need a list of that, because if they're gonna walk by, then Laura's gonna say, they're not gonna all walk together, they're all gonna walk in their troop, right? They
If
don't
we're
all
lucky,
walk,
we will all walk together just like we usually do. We
But
kind of
don't you
stick
have,
by
like-
troop, but trust me, it's not even worth. We may have troops that don't even show up because half of these parents don't show up.
so, but, okay, so, I know that, I hear that, but
Yeah.
are you gonna have your Girl Scouts, I don't care if you have 2, 4, what, this group is together, then behind them is
We
gonna
all
be,
kind of just go together.
cause how will Laurie say,
Girl Scouts.
just Girl Scouts?
Yep, that's what we are.
Daisies,
We're Girl Scouts,
whatever.
just like the Boy Scouts are Boy Scouts.
Okay, so we
So
just
you
gonna,
don't differentiate
so we're not gonna put
wolves and the
daisies,
bears
we're not gonna,
and all that
Even
stuff.
that's still Cub Scouts.
Oh, really?
What you're speaking of, yes. You're still
weave
you're trying to
rolls and
separate
stuff
more
like
than
that?
you need
Yeah,
to.
cause
Just
even
trust
like
me.
baseball, I'm not gonna, like if,
Yeah,
I'll
like
reach
a-
out, I run
each-
baseball and we
yeah, each
regional,
team
we
is not
merge
gonna
with
have their own.
Hubbardston. So I'll see if I can get people to,
Yeah.
march in there, I'll
okay,
let
so
you know.
Laurie, you're gonna take care of the baseball,
Yeah,
that'd be good.
but I'm not gonna say like this is a rookie team, this is a Babe Ruth team, this is a
Yeah,
Majors team,
it
I don't care, they're
overcomplicates
baseball
things.
players, they all play ball, so. it's just-
Okay, so we're not gonna, okay,
No, it's Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts.
okay.
And the color guard would be the Mass National Guard.
Okay.
And ROTC, you may wanna capitalize that ROTC. But that's just, semantics,
I didn't capitalize that?
No, right.
all 4 letters.
Oh, all of them. Oh, I didn't
Okay.
know that.
And then we have the potential of bands, and we're gonna have, so I put, it might be 2. And then with the car clubs, we'll have multiple. And they don't necessarily have to line up according to the car club. If they come in and that gets a little bit messed up, well, so what? They're all,
Yeah, in the past, they just
So-
line up
yeah,
when they arrive.
So
Yeah.
Bill, the colored guards, I'm gonna
Make it
take
their
that out,
favorite,
cause that's
right?
gonna be the
Yeah.
national,
Yeah.
okay, so
you
that's,
could say
take that out.
Mass National
Guards,
Guard,
color
Color
guard.
Guard Contingent.
So far, we need a soccer team, I don't know how to, do we have soccer teams here? We do.
Yes. Jesse Torok.
Maybe you could shoot me her phone number or
Yes, I can. No problem. There's also baseball. You got that. So t-ball would be the same. Never mind.
Alright, can you think of anybody else that's gonna be in this parade or any other,
87 Gardner Road.
we're gonna have Senator Brewer, Donnie and Ryan all marching, Ryan will probably march,
Or are you gonna put them in cars?
or we're gonna put them in cars.
Well, Grand Marshal's gonna be in a car, and
What car he's gonna be in?
he's gonna be at the beginning in a 49 Packard.
49 packet.
That was
Okay,
in
so
all-
why don't we put,
All 3 Back to the Future movies, so.
oh, nice,
And then, with Tom is going to be his son-in-law
Right.
and also his granddaughter. And I think that, and we're gonna fill Laurie in on that, those details, cause that's gonna represent 3 generations of veterans. So I think that's a nice way, and that would be at the very beginning, the Grand Marshal comes
That's
at
at
the
the
very beginning.
After the police car?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause the
After
police car's first, right?
After I told my,
So that's gonna be
my,
number 2.
my,
So-
well, after I told my son-in-law that he had to be in his dress, white
Uh-huh.
uniform, and her in hers, the next thing out of his mouth was, well, how about Andrea's father?
There's room in the back seat for 3.
Well, yeah, we'd have to dig him up.
Oh,
Oh, I was gonna,
So now we're gonna have a car.
can't have any dirt in my car.
Bill, we're gonna have a car for Senator Brewer, Donnie Berthium, and Ryan.
They usually
Should we-
walk.
Yeah, I thought they would walk,
Yeah,
They're gonna
they
walk?
usually walk,
Yeah, they
yeah.
walk.
you know, the,
They walk
How
the
old
talk.
is
Yeah,
Steve
yeah.
Brewer?
pardon me?
How old is Steve Brewer?
70s, he's in his 70s.
He can
yeah.
still do it?
Yeah, he looked like he was in pretty good shape,
Yeah,
and,
I'm
and
70.
I'll coordinate that, cause Ed
Cause we could
Blanchard
get an
is.
old car for them to ride into,
Well,
if we did.
mhm.
Okay.
Ride the time machine.
Okay, so
Oh,
what-
no, I would rather the Cadillac,
Yeah, uh-huh,
put him in that Cadillac, tell them they couldn't use the siren.
no, not the
So
time
this
machine.
is the list. Can you think of any more people that would wanna be in here, that we're not sure on the auxiliary? Where'd I put her?
So Tom, what you said before is generally the parade lasts between a half an hour and 3/4 of an hour. Based on, groups that we have a lineup here for, do you think we're still within that time frame, or we're adding to it?
I think if we're doing anything, we're adding to it.
Okay, so that's why we have the 11 and 12 o'clock.
Right.
So, and I have been instructing everybody I talk to, that's gonna be in the parade, I'm telling them 10 o'clock,
Yep.
you know, at the rec field.
Right.
You know, no later than 10 o'clock, and you know it's not gonna happen, there'll be some at 10:15, but, you know, that way. I think I told a couple of the first ones 10:15, so they're all gonna be coming at the same time, so it's gonna, would jam you guys up, but, I think they'll be flowing, and they'll be, as a backup, you're just gonna, you know, handle them one at a time.
Is Monty Tech supposed to be TECH?
Maybe,
Also
yeah,
TECH?
what, I think so.
Yeah, with an H on the end, yes.
Well, you also may I get the crossing for you.
Yes, yeah, and if you have any more you wanna add, we're gonna have at least 2 more meetings,
Okay.
maybe 3.
Alright,
I think we should,
Thanks, George.
just,
Thank you, Chief.
just
Thank
to
you.
get everything together, I think. When should we have another oh, this is the last thing is the expense list.
Yeah.
Anybody has any questions? This is my, things that I get from the flea market, this is, you know, it's nothing great, these are the receipts, so I have them.
Okay, so we know that, $1,500, you had a $1,500 budget, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, the 1,500 for the marching band is being paid for by the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Committee.
yes,
So that is not an expense. It should be added, well, it's an expense, but not incurred by the Memorial Day Committee.
Yeah.
The hats are, Joe donated the 150?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
No, can't we just pay for the hat if we pick it up
no, it's yours free, we're giving them away $3 veterans. rates.
today?
If you wanna take your hat today, I want you to sign up whatever you take. Just put, or I can write your name down, tell me what size shirt you want, and I'll write down if you took your hat or not, just so I know who's got what.
so what is it that we need to pay for to pay back what people have put out?
Nothing well, the only thing you need to pay for now, Scotty's parties, I didn't put any money out for that, I got the bill here. Monty Tech is $450, we gotta pay for that. I think
Money
they'll
Tech is $450 for what?
T-shirts,
For what?
T-shirts.
Oh, T-shirts, okay, now I understand, okay.
I should've wrote that on there, I didn't think to.
I was confusing it with their
T-shirts.
drill team.
And Flo, the $170 for Flo. and Joyce Green the $75. So all this is gonna come out of our,
If we have a sound system in cable committee, why wouldn't we use that if it was good enough for that event, if Brittany's gonna be there rather than renting it from Joyce?
well, she's gonna sing, I don't know, I guess because they've always done it, Lori,
Okay,
I don't know.
That was just a thought. No, I mean, cause I know she said she had ample equipment, so.
Right, and I just went along, cause Tom, that's what you always did, was have Joyce
Okay.
and them.
On that radio thing, do they just walk down the street, or do they have to have?
Well, they're gonna be set up on Main Street, and he has to be set up closer to the common the better, so that when the parade finishes, they can walk up on the common and do their thing on the common. And, so there'll be a stationary position from which they'll be broadcasting.
Is that gonna, if you allow for that space, whatever that is?
We haven't determined exactly where it is yet, but, there will be a space for it.
Are they broadcasting their audio so that people can hear, or are they just going out over the radio?
Just going out of the radio station, yeah.
Can you find out if they have an output so that I could get commentary for the parade, etc.?
Yeah, okay, yep, yeah, find out if they, what is it, they have an output?
An output for their audio, so they're gonna be collecting Lori's audio and whoever else is talking and audio from the parade route, and they're gonna be feeding it into their station.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if they have an additional output so that I could get
Okay,
that audio.
all right, mm-hmm.
I mean, I assume you guys would be like sitting at a table or something, so
Kinda like the
Probably.
Macy's Day Parade, I bought
usually,
flowers in
so
front of
with
the
parades and commentary, usually you guys are up higher and you're like sitting at like a table or something. Worst case scenario, I can put a mic on the table there and get it that way, but if they have additional sound or, I don't know, whatever, I'd love to capture whatever they're sending out.
Okay, and I may have Steve Rendell from WGAW coordinate that with you, but
Yeah, I
we're gonna
can
see him
communicate, if you can connect us, I can work out the
Great.
details with
Mhm.
him.
And that's why, I sent you an email very, very late. If for some reason you wanted to be there tomorrow when we're gonna do the PSA
Yep.
at the rec field, if you wanted to be there, that's fine too.
I've got it in my calendar,
Okay.
either I or my employee will be
Okay,
there.
yeah, and that might be a way to begin the connection
Okay.
between the two of you.
Alright, sounds good.
And, okay, is there a possibility that we could also finish it off by having Joyce Green and her daughters sing God Bless America at the end?
That would be lovely.
It would be lovely, they'll do what we want them to do, they always have,
Wouldn't that be a nice way of ending it?
yeah,
Do you wanna check on that, Tom?
I will.
God Bless America at the end, John. Got that, wrote that down?
Okay.
Yeah,
After the benediction.
I would add,
after the benediction.
after the benediction, yeah. Okay. Claudia talked about next meeting.
Okay, I think we should have at least 2, if not 3 more. I think we should have another meeting, in a couple weeks, maybe at the end.
If you're
And-
feeling up to it.
Yeah, yeah, I think we should. Does anybody have a calendar?
I do.
Okay, let's see
I have
what,
somebody next door, so if you need me or what you need from me, just let me know. I'll talk to you later about
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Okay.
okay,
I need to talk to you later too, but I'll.
You're
Come
pretty
find me next
popular
door.
lady.
I'm right next door, I will,
next
well, I'll
meeting
talk to you.
should be,
What remarks I want you to make when we go by it tomorrow.
okay, so in 2 weeks, oh Jesus. So, do we wanna continue, what is a good day for everybody, is any special day, cause I know like the 29th we could do it, it's a Friday afternoon. You could come in here, it's quiet in here, nobody's working, if you think, or do you think we wanna keep it during, a Wednesday, or
I think,
how do people feel?
Friday's good for me,
yeah.
Is a
I
Friday,
don't know, I never looked.
Hey,
Mondays are all right,
what's the date?
Fridays are all right.
we're trying to figure that out, John, haven't got it yet. So, or we can keep it on a Thursday afternoon,
No, not good for me.
not for
Not
good for you. Alright, 27th,
27th is a Wednesday?
Yep.
How's that look for you, Tom?
But it's fine,
Joe?
I have Lions Club
You
that
good?
night, so anything we decide. on.
alright, so how's the 27th?
4/27.
3/20, yeah. 4/27, at, so that's a
Time.
Wednesday. What do we got going on Wednesdays?
usually have cribbage.
No, that's Friday. So we can do it in the afternoon, or we can do it in the morning? 11 o'clock in the morning or afternoon?
11 o'clock is fine.
Yeah. I
11
got it.
a.m., everybody's fresh then. And let's just pick, do you wanna pick the next meeting, the next one too?
What was that, the 27th?
The 27th at 11 a.m.
And then we should have one, I would say, another one on the 11th of May.
My stepbrother moved in with us
What do you
last
think?
year. He's
What day of week is that?
That's a Wednesday at 11.
I dropped this off.
And then we need to have the one on the 25th. How's that? 3 more? And if we don't need it, well, we can say no.
This is the
But
one from last year.
when I think a couple of them, we need to go up to the rec field.
Yeah, we do walkabout.
We need to do walk-arounds. We need to go to the rec field and we need to go up to the common. So maybe the next meeting, we should think about maybe going to the common and at least looking at that.
Do 11 o'clock
And
then
then the
too.
next one is
Yeah.
May 11th.
Unless something unforeseen comes up, then we'll let you know.
Now, there's that,
Talk
Sorry,
about
what was that last meeting?
unforeseen.
May
What's the
25th.
rain date?
25th.
May 30th.
Same time, 11.
There is a,
Yes.
We don't have a rain date. It's rain or shine, right, Bill?
We'd never be able to gather the
yeah.
same group
Yeah,
on the next day,
right.
so.
So Wednesday, the 11th is, at 6:30 in the evening, okay. So you wanted to meet at 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yes. This here, they would like us to attend a meeting with all the boards and the committees
That's on May 11th, right?
on May 11th. You got that information?
I've already submitted agendas.
Joe, you don't have to come because you don't wanna be a committee member, but I think you want.
Put it in the box. You don't get it.
I don't need, that's not me in the front, but I just said I'll do this quickly.
So that's also at 11, right?
Yep.
So Katie, do you have anything else?
no, I'm just sitting here quietly, so we gotta be up there at 11. And then, I mean 10, for the parade to start at 11, and
Yep.
then there'll be a
Are
thing
you
afterwards.
gonna teach your little people how to march? Now that's
Oh, no,
one thing to do.
I just heard cats, that's all I do. I just make sure nobody squirrels off into the woods, that's all.
I remember we used to learn, we used to have to learn how to march when we were Girl Scouts,
Yeah,
we
no.
practiced.
No,
So, no.
not even.
As long as they can
yeah,
walk.
no. They know how to walk, we just try to keep them together.
Okay. So here's the flags, I don't know if you wanna take a look at them. Anybody who, Joe, do you wanna take your hat?
I guess I could.
Yeah.
You have my name on there.
I have John, you took yours. What branch, Joe?
Are you guys done?
I'm Marine.
Oh, a motion to adjourn?
Got it made last year.
So, motion to adjourn.
Okay, seconded?
Yes.
I got a question, I forgot to ask her last time. Do you remember